Here I am today talking my thoughts out loud to y'all once again. My today's rant is about the art of letting go, something that we all need some more practice in, I believe. We get so attached to things, to people, to places, even unhealthy habits, that it often becomes detrimental to our mental health or just our overall well being. That probably stems from the scarcity mentality we often carry on from a very young age, or merely the overconsumption era we're in. But either way, it has to go. And with the World Mental Health Day coming up, I thought it would be a good idea to try to release few things that are not helping us to have a balanced mental health. After lots of deep inner reflection, very recurrent practice in my life, I guess, I came to the conclusion that expectations are what is losing us and disappointing us, having us stuck in a place of guaranteed enslavement, to not be too strong with my words, of course. We want so much out of life, out of our people, talking about the people in our life. We want so many things that we most of the time don't even really need to start with. And we want it like yesterday, which not only ends up making us put way too much pressure on ourselves, but also prevents us to fully enjoy the things, the people, and so on we already have. Something that I've done lately has been focusing on who and what is already present in my life. And from there, sorting out what is benefiting my life, enhancing my character, and who I'm holding on to that's holding me back from my growth, what and who is keeping me playing small or just unhealthily keeping me in my comfort zone. So let me tell you that I've been Mary Kondoing several things from people, things, ideas, habits, many things had to go. So yeah, I think today I'll share from my own experience and hoping it will be serving you the best way. Listen up to this gem. Namaste, listeners. I'll share with you what I've learned, or actually relearned, being faced with a similar situation that I've been confronted to in the past, but now with another approach. When I'm talking about the art of letting go, I think it's important to clarify that I'm kind of putting it in two categories. Letting go of things that are already in your life. And when I'm talking about things, I'm talking about physical things, material things, but also ideas, beliefs, habits, people, and so on, like your different relationships. And also the other side of the coin will be the art of letting go of some of things that have not come yet physically into your life, but you have a strong desire for it. Pretty much ideas of your future manifestations. Okay, so if we start with letting go of things that are already in your life, things, I do believe that everybody got their own definition of success now. But it's very strange because the way we're raised, I think internationally, at the end of the day, we've all been wired to believe that success is defined by your net worth, how much you've been accumulating in this life. Do you have a home? Do you have a car? If yes, how many? Suppose you have, I don't know how many social relationships, friends, acquaintances, your network of people, how large is it? How many people have you dated? And so on. Yeah, it's all about numbers, 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 numbers. Yeah, and if you take a look at your closet right now, how many clothes do you have in there that you're not even wearing anymore? Fast fashion is a whole other subject, but I think it's relevant here. Like we all about, when I say we, I'm talking about general. I'm not saying specifically you or me or whatever. I'm saying like generally. It's all about adding, 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 adding. I believe we forget the purpose of things. All of the clothes that you have in your closet that you're not using are not serving their purpose. So why are they here in the first place? Same with people. Everybody is not everybody. A lot of people. A lot of people put no, we're all doing that. I think one way or the other, or at one time, we've all been putting so much value on how many, let's say, followers you have on your social media, how many Facebook friends you have, People having thousands and thousands friends on Facebook. Can we talk about that for a minute? How is that even possible that you know that many people? Are they all serving the purpose of being your friend? Like a real friendship? If you define what is real friendship, are they all into this category? That confuses me. That truly confuses me. And same with dating apps. If we look at the previous generations, our parents, grandparents, and even up the line, I might be wrong, but I don't think they've dated more than 3 to 5 people their whole lives. When now, what we do is like we swipe left and right, left and right, left and right. We don't even know how many people I'm not even talking about the actual moment that you meet the person in real life, but you've already been on this dating exchange online even before meeting the person. And if you have to count how many people you've been dating, now this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm just saying all of that is just to wrap up. It's just saying that we all about accumulating quantity, numbers, and forgetting about the essence, the meaning, the purpose of things and people into our lives, and filling ourselves like that with so many things you don't necessarily need, but you need to have that to be socially accepted. Are we doing that because it's societal expectations? Are we doing that because we're trying to fill a void in our lives? Are we doing that because that's all we know? Or why are we doing that? That's been a question that I've been asking myself, hence the Mary Kondoing. Because if we use an analogy here, if we think about a runner who's having like sport clothes and they're sprinting to the finish line. So it's just themselves in a light outfit. Now take another runner who's competing with the first one, who had long jogging pants, not only a t-shirt, but then a heavy jacket on top of it, plus a backpack with a water bottle, a towel, I don't know, so many other things in there. Who do you think's gonna win? Who's gonna who's gonna win the race? Is it gonna be the one who's lighter or the one who's heavier? Talking about all of the things he has on his back. I'm not going to say life is a sprint because it's definitely not. It's a marathon. It's long. It's long. You got to keep up the distance. You cannot tire yourself before the finish line. You got to be mindful of the way you go about life, which is the pace that you keep up during your marathon. I feel like now with everything is not a matter of quality, is a matter of quantity. And we're losing track of what is essential. And that is what is losing us. So now, how do you release all of the excess? First of all, I think it all comes down to self-awareness, as always. You need to figure out, oh yeah, I do have an excess of things and people and ideas and beliefs that are detrimental to me. I would even say this burden that is not positively affecting your life. Realizing that I do have many things and people and ideas that are filling my head, relationships that I don't necessarily need or even enjoy anymore, but I'm just keeping them for the sake of keeping them because it's been a while. Or I have that many things in my home because at some point they were serving a purpose, but now they don't, but I still feel attached to them. I have memories with them. Oh, they bring up memories. And from there, reevaluating, asking yourself the right questions. I am not a minimalist, but I believe that we could learn from this lifestyle too, and actually choosing things, people, ideas, beliefs that are adding to our character, adding to a better version of ourselves, adding to our happiness from within, not necessarily from external elements. So, really rethinking and asking yourself the real question, and that will be much more easy to let go. I think if you really about living this conscious life, being aware of who you want to become, how you want to live your life, who you want to share your life with. Releasing is very important because all attachments which are not matching your frequency right now, your vibe, your who you are right now, because the whole goal of life is also evolving every single day, hopefully. Some things and people are here for a season. You should be very extremely grateful for everything you've learned and everything they brought into your life, but also having this higher perspective that now the circle is completed and it's time to release, it's time to let go, it's time to make room for something new, something that is actually serving who you are right now, how you want to live right now. And for that, I believe releasing or letting go is not only physically, because we can say, let's talk about a person, for example. Let's say a friend. Okay, I'm not friend with this person anymore. Okay, we're not in contact anymore. I did let go. I did release this person. But you're still holding on into resentment, jealousy, or even revenge, or any other icky feeling towards this person. That doesn't mean that you have let go. You have let go probably physically, but you haven't let go internally. And I do believe with people, relationships, usually it's we part ways when something happened that we found not fair or hurtful, and so on. Most of the time. Other time it's just like the relationship has just faded. And it's just the course of life too. To truly release internally, the power of forgiveness is tremendously essential. You don't even have to say to the person face to face that you forgive them, but it is so important that internally you say, I love you, I forgive you, I release you. I love you, I forgive you, I release you. Or it can be other words. It could be like whatever you feel most comfortable with, or even your little ritual around it. But if you don't do that internally, let go internally of someone, the cord, the emotional cording, the emotional attachment is still there. It's still there. We're all energetic beings. So yeah, you're still attached. You're still attached. You have to let go. You have to do the inner process. You have to be self-aware and fair, acknowledging your wrongdoings and the one of the other. And most importantly, see what you've learned from this relationship. Because we learn from good and positive experiences, obviously, but we learn so much from, I don't like saying bad experiences, but negative ones. We learn so much. We learn so much about ourselves, about how we interact with others, and our boundaries. We learn so much. So do the full inner process to release people, relationships that are not serving your highest good. And with the object, I will say to release them if you feel like they're not serving their purpose into your life anymore. If they're not adding, release them. And when I say they're not adding positively into your life, not adding, taking space. And now I think that's the one who's a little bit juicier. Letting go of ideas of your future manifestation, everything that you really want but is not into your life yet, but you feel like it's meant for you, so why is it not here? So I would say first, patience. As basic as it sounds, having patience for what you want to arrive when it's supposed to in perfect divine timing. When you're ready to receive it, to actually enjoy it, to embrace it, instead of having it and messing it up, to have it just go as quickly as it arrived. Also, having patience with yourself, being real with yourself, accepting that life is a sequence of cycles, that you won't feel hyped up every day. You won't be able to work as hard on a daily basis for long periods of time. There'll be days where you'll be faced with your inner fears, your self-doubt, and all of the not so good feelings you want to push under the rug. I'd even say patience to tune out societal expectations and figuring out what you truly want in this life that is fully yours, what type of people you want to share your time with, enjoy the company of, what kind of things you want to surround yourself with, dress in, and so forth. But that goes back to the reevaluating things that we were talking about before. And we're in Mercury retrograde, so it's the perfect time to reevaluate literally everything into your life. So do that. Also, I think it's very evident, but we don't really think about it. Having patience, because things always get sorted out. If you look back into your life when you thought it was your biggest hurdle, your biggest crossroads, that you will never know how to get yourself out of this situation, you got it figured out. I'll even say have patience and compassion for yourself. For the things, people you desperately want to come into your life, you have to make room first. You need to prepare the space for them, especially if they're part of your growth and vibing at a higher frequency than what you're surrounded by at the present moment. Once again, it's like starting with making room. Once you know what you need to let go of and that you've done your part, you've been doing the work, you've been whatever your desire is, you feel like your actions were aligned with that particular desire. Trusting the process, trusting the path, even trusting yourself is definitely a game changer. Depending on how attached you are onto the things, people you feel like you need to part ways with, it can be really scary. But do we really want to live fear-based, or do we want to live intentionally? Personally, I now strongly believe in the main character metaphor. You are not the second role. No, nobody is extra casting member in your own life. You are the main character. You're responsible for your choices. Every choice will have a consequence, good or bad. So you better choose wisely. No pressure. To circle back to the scary feeling that will arise, it will arise no matter what. Because it's change, it's newness, it's the unknown. So obviously our protective ego will bring up some fears when making an intentional, conscious choice of ending something we've been attached to for a while, big or small. One thing that helped me is thinking my way out of fear. A lot of people, especially in the wellness community, are not necessarily supporting the idea of positive thinking as they assimilate it to bypassing negative emotions. I agree, but to a certain extent. Let me explain. Acknowledging and accepting your negative emotions is super duper important. They're the ones pinpointing that something is up, which usually is like through fears or self-doubt or whatever. But they are the one redirecting you in a way that is more aligned with what's good for you and also helps you embrace and make peace with the shadow parts of you. Yet, our minds can be the biggest tricksters too. Sometimes these negative emotions are not showing us anything grandiose. They're merely coming from a place of the unknown. The unknown is scary. That's what I was saying, because it has never been experienced before. That's when positive thinking, positive self-talk tremendously helps switching perspective. At least for me, and I'm sure I'm not alone, hyping yourself up until you manage to do or say or release the thing person you were holding on to, not in the most healthy way, it's incredible. I'm a huge fan of positive affirmations. I think it works so well on me. But I can see how it cannot necessarily work on others, like to each their own, to each their own. So we actually covered something related to that in the previous episodes I made about the mind with some amazing guests. The one about the subconscious mind, the one about keeping your mental health in check, and the last one, aligning your mind with Ayurveda. Go check them out if you haven't already, because it brings that idea of how our thoughts are sometimes just thoughts. And also in these, the thing that came up is that our thoughts are the shaper of our reality. To summarize, what you think, you manifest. So thoughts are powerful, yet some thoughts can be also just thoughts, you know. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into that again here, but I thought it was important to underline that. So yeah, what is preventing you to let go? I would say 99.9% of the time is fear. Is fear of whatever. It may be change, abandonment, judgment, and so on. and your thoughts are your reality. So what about training your mind to switch your perspective so your fear turns into a challenge? As I have this thing in front of me that it will challenge me, yet will help me grow so much, instead of having this idea, oh, this is fear. So if I'm fearful, then I should just like not push it and not overcome it. No, you're supposed to overcome it. But it's definitely not easy. It's definitely so much easier said than done. Fear should not be seen as a blockage because your truth is always underneath the surface. Turning off these nasty thoughts and follow that gut feeling of yours, the one that tells you, yes, do it. Before your mind starts spiraling with self doubt, criticism, worries, etc., it's just ego. It's just ego. You can choose a different thought. It's definitely possible. Trust in yourself, trust in God, trust in whatever you want to call it, universe, spirit, and so on. Trust in your path, in yourself, in the process, and go with the flow. Because it's only when you in the flow that you're able to align with your true self, with what you truly want from the inside, following your intuition. Your intuition is the best guidance you could ever have or even wish for, and acting with intention. Because okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Why most of the time what we want is not coming into our life? Because we're so forceful. We're so forceful. That's what I was saying at the beginning. We get so attached. It's like, in the Lord of the Ring, Gollum, with saying like, my precious, and never let go of that. Is like a cat with his claws and I don't know, a curtain or something, or like his little bowl, or I don't know how cats play, but like, you know what I mean? We get so attached, not only in our mind, but like physically putting our claws in whatever we want, and we don't want to let go, even when it's not necessarily good for us. So yeah, why was I saying that? But yeah, so letting go of the forcefulness, being more into an energy that is about deserving. But to get into that deserving energy and believing that everything that are deserving of us too will match with us, we need to radically accept ourselves first. And that goes with self-love, self-worth. Once you love yourself and know your worth, what you bring onto the table, that you're inherently worthy of everything you want, and fully accepting that and not dimming your light for the comfort of others, not dimming your light with all of the heavy feelings that we were talking about before, when you're not releasing someone, for example, resentment, jealousy, revenge, and so on. When you're not putting all of this darkness into you, because they're heavy feelings to carry, and you let yourself shine from the inside, not from all of the accumulation that you have in your life, maybe relationship things, that's when you find freedom too. That's when you find the strength to release everything that is not yours, first of all, everything that is not helping you evolve, everything that is not fulfilling you, everything that is not worth of your time or your energy, everything that is holding you back. That's when it's like so clear even for you to let go. It's like, why was I even holding on to that or to this person? Like, why? But then again, self-love, self-worth, radical acceptance, patience, starting out, reevaluating, asking yourself the right questions, all of that is what is allowing you at the end of the day to let go, to go beyond the fear, to accept the challenge, so on and so forth. And once you manage to let go, allowing the new to come in, most of the time what you wanted but haven't made the entrance into your life is finally coming in, because you're not so forceful with it anymore. You're not into this extra needy energy anymore. You're just flowing. You're just about deserving and attracting not only what you desire, but also what is meant for you, what you deserve. When you let go of this forcefulness, you also find freedom within your relationships and ownership of things. When I say ownership, I put huge air quotes, because at the end of the day, we don't own anything. We're going to leave this earth without anything material. We live this earth by ourselves too, not with all of the relationships we have, not at the same time. So we don't own anything. I mean, that's my stance on it. But since we're living in a society that is big on ownership, I will talk about ownership. I will talk about ownership as the general definition. Yeah, when we're not forceful, especially with people in our like maybe friendship, or romantic relationship, family members, and so on, we start appreciating people for who they are, not necessarily for the expectations we have of them towards us, and also letting go of the expectation that we have of our own selves. Yeah, and being in a state of acceptance, and even like the things that you have is like, okay, they're here, but they're just things, and they're helping me or serving me right now, but tomorrow I don't know, maybe they won't. So just like not having this ownership over people, material things. And to me, freedom equals peace. That's my own stand. I know freedom can mean so many other things to others, but for me it's so important, and it gives me so much peace. And not being that forceful, and having radically accepted myself. I mean, it's still a process. We all learning every day, but trusting that is giving me lots of freedom and a lot of peace. And I just want to share that, because just free yourself. Give yourself the gift of peace every day. Peace is closure. Giving yourself the gift of peace every day, it's so soothing. And you deserve to feel lighter. You deserve to be as free as a bird. Let go of the old. Know your power. Trust your magic. You got this. Come on. Yeah, so I hope that sharing some of these words was useful to you. I mean, it was more of a self-talk, so hopefully I made sense. Yeah, it makes sense. You just experienced me talking in my head right now. Yeah, that's what is happening up there. Feel free to connect as always on Instagram at conscious.matters. DM me. I'm always happy to exchange on there. And yeah, let go, be free, enjoy life. Life is a magnificent experience. Conscious Matters is a self-produced podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and or donate. 5 stars always preferred. Your support will help to keep on raising the collective consciousness together. Talk to you soon.